This really is so weird doing this episode alone. Okay, hold on. I kind of miss the little voice on my shoulder that tells me, like whether or not I sound stupid. Well, speaking of Sydney, she wasn't able to make it this week. She told me that she got trapped in the closet again. But the show must go on. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Can't Think Straight. It's spooky season for the girls, gays, and theys, which means 31 days of watching the cult classic Rocky Horror Picture Show on a continuous loop. Because who doesn't have gender envy for Frankenfooter? App State's Theater Honor Society is performing the Rocky Horror Picture Show at the Appalachian Theater this Halloween. Sydney and I originally tried out for the musical, but sadly didn't make the cut. On the bright side, I was presented with the opportunity to interview Jordan Warren, or Rocky, on what it's like to step into the world of science fiction. Take a look.
Okay. Hi, I'm Jordan Warren, and I'm playing Rocky in the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
That's so exciting. What major are you?
I am a theater performance major.
And are you a senior?
I'm not a senior.
What year are you?
Sophomore.
Oh,
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So, early.
I know, yeah.
Got him involved early.
So I auditioned for this role because it was pretty easy, not gonna front. It was a little convenient at the time, and it was just like, out of all the roles that I could see myself being, I was like, which one could I see myself being on stage? I was like, absolutely, I could be like naked on stage and nothing but like booty shorts. I was like, sure, let's go.
Very awesome. So kind of walk me through the audition process. 'Cause it's for lead, so I assume
yeah.
it's a little different.
So it wasn't exclusive or anything. It was pretty standard. They gave you the clip of the specific scene that they were showing you, and then they just made you watch it a couple times, and then after that, they're like, all right, so now you're gonna turn your back and you're just gonna go for it. You can improv, you can do whatever you want, but try and stick as close as to what they're doing in the movie. And so I actually didn't get to do Rocky with, actually, that's a lie, I did do Rocky. We did Toucha Toucha with the girl who plays Janice, and Janet, not Janice. So it was really funny because literally she just whispered, she's like, all right, you're just gonna follow my lead. I was like, yeah, for sure. Which was good in the moment because it let me blindside, and I think that's what they wanted. But it was full-fledged, just like her walking in front of me, and we were pretty close, her putting her hands, like taking her hands and putting them on mine, and then just like grabbing her, and I was like, oh, okay. And so, and then they're like, wow. And Allie, who's our director, was like, that sold it. She was like, seeing your reaction when she did that, and then her reaction doing it was like solid. So it was pretty interesting, I can say.
That's awesome.
If I could tell myself anything, it'd definitely be to be okay, even more okay with people like touching you. And like, I'm a pretty like physical touch kind of guy, like I'm okay with that, but like this is like really intimate, like I'm literally having sex on stage. So it's very much being okay with sort of that aspect of my personality, because it's literally on the stage quite physically and literally for everyone to see. So yeah.
That is pretty uncomfortable. It's intimidating.
Yeah.
Good. Rocky Horror.
I know, like you kind of just gotta be like, all right, we ball. Like.
Yeah, you gotta go in. You gotta go full out. So, what do you think your biggest improvement from taking on this role would be?
Biggest improvement? My biggest improvement would definitely be not to skip any gym days, because it's like this big buff guy, and I'll wake up, I'm like, oh, I can skip. I'm like, nope, you're playing Rocky, get up. And I could definitely say that is the one thing. Yeah.
So, what's something that you've really enjoyed about this specific role as like compared to others that you've done in the past?
Something I've really enjoyed with this role compared to others is definitely the process. It's very collaborative. It's not just you go here or you do this. It's, hey, try this. Does this feel okay? And we can be like, no, or yes, this feels fine, or oh, I have an idea, and then she'll full-fledged be like, okay, good idea. We're not doing that right now, but we'll keep it in notice. And so it's a very collaborative process, whereas others have been, like I said earlier, just you go here, you do this. It's more family, not the right word I want to use, more bonding experience.
That's awesome. And my last question
Mhm.
is, what is the biggest thing you've learned about yourself with this position? In this new vulnerability.
Biggest thing that I've learned about myself. That's a hard question.
It's an intense question.
I know. Like,
End it with some.
biggest thing I've learned about myself. I guess that it's okay to be vulnerable. I would have to say it's the biggest thing I've learned about myself. Like I said, it's kind of just, you're on stage, like I am in the most revealing costume. And so it's me definitely owning just sensuality, sexuality, confidence. Like anyone who's probably had a crush on me in the past is probably gonna enjoy themselves. And so definitely embracing that side of things, and just like, I was always a confident guy, so I'm just owning that even more and not letting like anything, get to me unless there's like a draft. I feel like that'd be a little issue, but
And
yeah.
I actually have one more question
Yeah.
for you. Can you explain how you got into theater?
oh yeah. So funny story. I was the typical Southern boy. They put me through like every sport imaginable: football, basketball, soccer, golf, tennis. I was in karate for a day. I didn't like the guy who was yelling at me, so that was not it. And I was in art lessons for a little bit, and then I went to a school field trip, and we saw Schoolhouse Rock Live 2, and immediately I was in the chair, and then I look, and I'm like, oh my God. And it was my childhood crush on stage right then and there. And then I kept seeing more and more of my friends, but I kept watching her, and I was like, oh God, oh God, oh God, she's like right there. She's on stage. I was like, and then it was just like this weird feeling, and I was like, and I leaned over to my stepdad. I'll never forget this moment. I was like, this is what I want to do. And it's been like 10 years in. I was 10 at the time. Oh, it's been 10 years. Yeah. I know, a decade of theater. And like, I'm fortunate enough to have discovered that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. So yeah,
Awesome.
kudos to her.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you guys.
All right.
Thank you so much, Jordan. Make sure to go see him and the other actors perform this Halloween at the Appalachian Theater. Now a word from our sponsors. Just kidding. We still aren't getting paid. Right, Emma? While we were crashing the rehearsal, we figured why not talk to some of the characters in the show? I mean, how often do you get a chance to chat with Brad and Janet? Take a look at what they wanted to share with you all.
Oh, God, where do we begin?
It's been such a journey.
It has. Well, firstly, hi, I'm Valerie.
I'm Sammy.
Yeah.
Samantha.
Remember that.
Yeah.
Wow, we've been through so much together.
A
Start
lot.
off at the beginning of the show marrying somebody else, and then bam,
Boom.
like we became windows. And
Yeah.
it's just
And I think that's where it really took off.
It did.
There was this rehearsal, and they said we need 2 people to be windows, and me and Valerie, we just ran up. It was like, it just felt like,
dynamic.
yes,
Exactly.
dynamic.
And we just
Yes. Mm-hmm.
yeah. Anyway, sorry, we're just getting a little too off topic. Then we're Transylvanians together. That's
Oh my.
that's a fun ride already.
Yeah.
I think it
that-
was.
Sorry.
Yeah. You're forgiven. It's okay.
Thank you.
The pelvic thrust, it really drives you insane, and it drove me insane when I saw
Yeah.
Sammy for the second time.
It's really kind of taken over.
Everything
My
we really
life.
do.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what happens? Then what do we do?
Then,
We're just nothing.
oh, so the director just saw our windows and was like,
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
So at the end of the show, in a grand finale sense,
Death.
we come
Yeah.
on and we hold up the curtain and then we run with the curtain and it's
We just
it's
walk
so
off.
exhilarating.
Yeah. Death and beginnings and death and it's just
Oh my God.
it's all so good. It's all so good. And
Sorry.
I'm just it makes me really emotional. I try not to cry, but at least we're back in Transylvania again.
So good to be back.
It's just so good to be back. So come see Rocky. So you can see our love story. Not Brad and Janet. They're not important. We are Valerie and Sammy.
VNS.
And you know, Frankenfurter even shaked our hands.
Yeah,
So we're the chosen ones.
it's
Really?
really obvious. There's so much subtext
Yeah.
that we're really the the stars
Of the show.
of the show.
Yeah.
So
The light shines specifically for us, and beginning and end, you know?
Beginning
It
and end.
just our bow, we're next to each other.
Oh.
What? Holding hands practically? It's exciting.
I know it's
Ooh, it's something else, something
yeah, I'm
sweet.
kind of feeling
Kind
a
of
little hot. Just yeah.
Oh,
But yeah,
yeah,
come see the show.
please.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like, he talks up a big game, but Frankenfurter's not that good in bed. I mean, I've had sex with like at least 4 people in this castle by now, and it's just like Rocky's up here and Frankenfurter's like down here. You know, like maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. I don't know
What
though.
about Brad?
Brad's willing to try. Brad's willing to try for sure, but he doesn't quite have that like sauce. You know what I'm saying? But like Rocky, Rocky's really cool. But
Is it the muscles?
oh my God, have you seen those muscles? Don't even get me started on his muscles. But yeah, Frankenfurter sucks in bed.
Says who? Says Janet?
Possibly.
Of course it was Janet. You know her apple pie doesn't taste that nice. I've had finer pies in my days. I'm not even from this planet and I've had finer pies. That's why I made a man. But he's turning out to be a disappointment.
So, time travel I've been working on for quite some time now. About 14 years, yes. Etty was born about 27 years ago, I think. I'm not his father. Time travel, yes. It's not my area of expertise, surprisingly, I know. It is normally chemistry, high school chemistry. How I got the job at the government, I cannot say. What can I say? I'm just a cutie.
So what about Brad? Has he been helpful at all?
Well, his highest education is, in fact, my science class. He had to take a remedial course in chemistry, high school chemistry at that. So he's great for getting coffee. I will say that. I will say that.
Okay, but seriously, go see this musical. It's literally going to be so entertaining, and I know they worked really hard to produce it. Now enjoyed some ads because I need to pee.
Oh, the weather looks like it's gonna be mild today. But no matter what the weather app says, it's always good to dress in layers because in Boone, the weather can change like that. Before your first day of class, make sure to look at a map of App State. There are many different ways to get from point A to point B. For example,
if you're trying to go from I.G. Greer Hall to Walker Hall, you could walk past Rankin and cross River Street after the staff lot. You could use one of the free expression tunnels that go under River Street, or you could cross River Street at Central and walk from there.
speaking of Central, even though the sign says Roast Dining Hall, everyone here just calls it Central. When you're trying to catch a bus, the Next Bus app can be helpful, but don't rely on it alone. Buses can usually be ahead or behind schedule. A good way to make sure you catch the next bus is to check the online schedules or take a look at the map inside the bus shelters.
The first day of class can be nerve-wracking as is, but the real challenge comes when you have to figure out where to sit.
If you sit in the back row, that tells the professor that you're uninterested and don't care. If you sit in the front row, get ready to be called on a lot.
A safe bet is to sit somewhere in between, where you can mind your business without sending the wrong idea. Welcome to the 3rd floor of the library. If you're coming here, be ready to whisper. As independent as you think you may be, get ready to depend on a lot of others for your group projects, who may let you down sometimes. You won't get to pick your groups, but you will get to delegate roles within your groups. So make sure you don't give the big tasks to the slackers.
Welcome back to Can't Think Straight. I hope you enjoyed that little Halloween moment or whatever. Up next, we've got headlines. If you're still watching, congrats. You made the right decision, because if you decide to turn off your monitor, then you're homophobic. On Monday, the world lost its sparkle. Gay icon Leslie Jordan has passed away. This heartbreaking news has no punchline. So we decided to recall some of Leslie's bests.
Hey, I'm Leslie Jordan, world-renowned actor. You may know me from Will and Grace. You might know me from Instagram. Who knows? You may know me from the alley in West Hollywood.
Well, hello, fella hunker-downers. Coming to you high on half a Ambien. My doctor prescribes 10 milligrams when I can't sleep, and I get so wound up over all this, but I only take a half, otherwise I eat everything in the house. But look, another way I calm down is I write in my journal, and I put little stickers, I decorate. I'm a high school cheerleader stuck in a 65-year-old male body. My Violette stickers came today. Look, aren't they beautiful? I think I fell out of the womb and landed in my mother's high heels. I just like things pretty. I think that's why homosexuals were put on this earth, just to make things pretty. Rabbits. Well, hello, pilgrims and fellow fitness fanatics. I have come up with a better exercise today than yesterday. Yesterday, we used the back scratcher to great effect. Today, we're going to make the back scratcher a baton. Because when I was little, my daddy took me to my very first football game. He said, this is the offense, this is the defense. And I said, but when do the majorettes come out? My dad said, oh, son, as if he was in deep pain. He loved me. He just didn't know what to make of me. But he would come home from work, and I'd be in the front yard. He'd be with all of his Army buddies. He was a career Army man. Daddy, Daddy, watch me twirl. Daddy, watch me. My dad said, oh, son, won't you twirl that baton in the house?
Oscar goes to Dune.
Oh, my Lord. Did Will Smith and Chris Rock just get into an entanglement? What's this world coming to?
Don't be shy, girl, go bonanza. Shake your body like a belly dancer. But I'm gonna be where the lights are shining on me like a rhinestone cowboy.
Well, you can't turn on the television or open a newspaper without something about Mr. Putin. He doesn't like gay people, doesn't want them in Russia. Then he's got the wonderful basketball player over there. He won't let her out. Make up your mind. You know, he's always acted so butch and, you know, strutting around. You know what that means, don't you? The lady doth protest too much. Time for you to come out of the closet, Putin. Miss Putin. We're on to you. Well, shit, fellow hunker-downers, here it is, Black Friday, and I don't do my Black Friday shopping at the department stores or anything. I go to a restaurant, because little fatty loves to eat. I've got everything here from steak au poivre, I've got shrimp, scampi, I've got all kinds of bread, pudding, and this and that, and it's all for me.
Stay tuned because I'm about to put you onto a great local market on Howard Street. But before that, here's some more ads for the university that majority of our viewers already go to.
Let's go! To a place where you can grow.
A place to be heard.
And take a closer look.
A place where you can crush it.
And push yourself.
A place to find your voice.
This place rocks. And rolls.
A place where you can get out.
Wow! A place you'll never forget.
So where is this place? Let me show you.
Life is a journey. We're told that there are mountains and valleys before us. A mountaineer trudges through. Where others see an obstacle, a mountaineer sees an opportunity. A mountaineer climbs tomorrow's mountains today. So what is a mountaineer? A mountaineer is you.
All right, like I promised, I'm gonna put y'all on. Wildwood Community Market on Howard Street is downtown Boone's newest health-focused grocery store and deli. You can find fresh, locally grown produce and many other great food choices in the market, including vegan options.
Today I went to Wildwood and I had their barbecue tofu sandwich and their cream of mushroom, and oh my god, it was like the best thing I've ever had. It was so good. I love mushrooms. I'm probably gonna go back tomorrow.
And there you have it. A new member of our crew, Slade, had the opportunity to interview some of the workers over at Wildwood to hear what it's like working in such a welcoming environment. Let's hear what they have to say.
Hi, my name is Slade and I'm here with
CJ Jeffries.
And we're here at Wildwood and we're just going to be asking a whole bunch of questions about this inclusive space. So how long have you been here?
So we've been open for 133 days. We opened 2 days before Boonerang, so we're just getting past our 4-month spot.
And I know you said you've been like hands-on ever since like its construction. Talk to me about that and like opening up, like your emotions. How do you felt about this passion project?
So basically, like all I wanted to do was work for a small business when I graduated. Was moving back up here, and my buddy Joe Mager was like, hey, we're gonna start this natural foods store. And so in that meantime, we were doing construction work. So after doing that, we finally got our building. And once we had that, we were able to come in here, which was actually owned by App State previously and was used as an art space. They did swing dancing in here. So we took that, gutted a little bit, built out an entire kitchen. We did all the tile work and like just all the hands-on stuff. So it's been really cool to actually like, it's such a labor of love. And it's so refreshing to do that and not be in that kind of corporate setting anymore and know the people who you're working for and what you're working towards and who you're working with.
I love it. Seems very like free space, like free spirited, and like just like talking to you and talking to the other employees, it just seems like a freeing space to like be yourself. And I'm assuming you guys are big on like inclusivity with like the pride flags and everything like that. How do you foster an environment like as an employee, as a friend, and like as a potential family member to like other employees and your bosses?
It was something that we wanted to like make sure was upfront from the start, that anybody can come in here. We're extremely inclusive. We wanted to be a place where anybody could come in and feel safe. Like that's part of the reason we've got like non-binary bathrooms and we have our pride flags, and even like coming down to stuff for, you know, food preferences. We wanted to have all the vegan options and vegetarian options that we could possibly have. And we also wanted to have stuff for the meat eaters too. So we got local beef and chicken and pimento cheese sandwiches. And it was just a huge priority. The people who own the business, they've got a family of 4. People that work here, they've got big families as well. Boone's always been awesome in creating a place for diversity, and we wanted to just add to that and like have another spot downtown where anybody can come in, walk in, grab some food, eat good, head to class.
Right. It's a very like nurturing environment. Like I saw like the menstrual products here and the non-binary bathrooms, of course, very inclusive. what's your favorite item here? Because there's a lot to choose from. There's like so many. It can be like decorative. It can be like what you're selling. Like, yeah.
I think I know. I think my favorite has to be the local Cheek ice cream. We get ice cream from a vendor called Cheek Farms, and they do just all the flavors. It's like blueberry, strawberry, chocolate, but you also get like apple pie and key lime pie, and it's got like mixed in bits of graham cracker, and it's just good. Like it's also really nice to know that it's coming from right down the road.
And I'm assuming you guys work with a lot of like local vendors with like meat and like farm products. How is that like actually like being in the community of Boone and like facilitating like a friendship among businesses? Because I know it feels like you have to compete with each other, but like in Boone, like we're all about like friendship and like togetherness.
Yeah, Boone's always like been such a source of community, and it's one of those things that the longer you're up here, the more people you talk to, the more that you realize that like everybody has a side hustle. Like everybody has a day job, but everybody's making soap at home or granola, or you know, it even came down to small stuff. Like when we were doing the build out here, we hired some guys to do our plumbing, and they came in and the guy was like, hey, I also sell local beef. So we got in with him, and it's just been really cool to watch like that community and see what everybody has to offer and create a spot where like we can facilitate more sales for those local producers, because there's so many up here. Like there's so many things that you can get locally, and we just wanted to be a spot where like they could all have a little spot, sell their stuff, get the names out, show people that come. I know we're huge about tourism up here, and I love that now people can come in, grab something local, and take that home to show their friends and families, as opposed to, you know, something that's a little more readily available.
And it like feels like a nice study spot for like ASU students or like even grad students just coming in to grab like a bite to eat and then going back. It's nurturing, it's very interconnected, as we can see from everything. Again, what is your like favorite part about working here? I would say we talked about the ice cream, we loved that. We talked about like the interconnectivity of the neighborhoods going on, but what's your favorite part about being an employee and being a part of this passion?
My favorite part about working here is being able to be a part of a space that actually comes into the community and wants to better it. I've worked in grocery for a long time, and I did the corporate thing, and you're a small cog in a big wheel. And here, like, you know, we're very open to critiques and criticisms and what people want, and we wanted to create a space where like people could come in and tell us what they were looking for, and not just be like, here's what we got. Like, we wanted to be like, what do you want? What does the community want? You know? So it's just been really nice to have that. We're like building a tight bond with the community. And, you know, every day I see people who I know by name, and they know me by name. And it's just a very friendly, jovial, like, hey, how you doing? Good, how you doing? You know, and people actually care. Yeah. And I think at the base of that, local food kind of helps bring all that together, because everybody got to eat. And, you know, now it's nice we can also be like, oh, you like that? Well, it also came from this guy. And then it's always like, oh, I know so-and-so. So it's nice to see that web of, like, friendship that builds in Boone.
One big happy family. Well, thank you so much. I am Slade, and
CJ Jeffries.
Thank you for watching.
Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. Sometimes I just get so lost in my craft that the world disappears, man. Anyways, that's our show. Thanks for watching. Stay classy, Sandy. That's copyrighted, isn't it? Stay classy, Cindy Cheeks. Stay classy, Sandy Cheeks.